true. I see some lovely women going by, and I wonder if that was my daughter.
44 years, a very long time to wait to see a baby girl. Peter, I have a surprise for you. We found Rosalie. She's waiting backstage, and she really wants to see you. Rosalie, come on up. Peter, are you all right? Rosalie, did you have any idea this man was searching for you for so long?
No, Sally, not at all.
Rosalie grew up in foster care for most of her childhood. What did you know about your father?
I didn't know anything.
Nothing.
Nothing.
Not a thing about him. Yours was rather a tough existence, too, as a child, right?
Yes.
When you were 16?
I got pregnant. I didn't get along with my mom.
And
At 15, we were taken out of the foster home, my brother and I.
Well,
And we went to
15.
live with...
Billy.
And then we went to live with my mom. Well, I didn't get along with my mom too well.
And at 16, there you are pregnant.
At 16, I was pregnant.
Not making it any easier.
No.
Would you like to introduce Peter to someone?
Yeah. You
Danny.
Who is
He's
this?
my third son that lives with his dad.
Have you ever wondered what your grandfather was like?
Oh, yeah.
Welcome to your grandfather. Peter, you have a surprise of your own. You also brought some special people along with you. Peter has 3 daughters, Dee, Suzanne, and Vicky. You are their new big sister. Let's give them a chance to say hi. Can you imagine? We'll be right back. This mother has come here today to share a heartbreaking story of being forced to give up her firstborn daughter. This was a baby that was born out of an illicit affair. 27 years later, Mom will finally reveal to her daughter the whole truth.
Were you reunited with a family member and it turned into a disaster? If so, please call 1-800-93-SALLY and tell us about it.
They wouldn't start without me.
Pass the marshmallows.
Would they?
Oh, let me stir.
You guys, you're making Rice Krispies treats in there.
This is fun.
Maybe Tony the Tiger needs a partner. This is no way to treat a cultural icon. Ooh. Duh.
That was fun.
Hey, Pop. Next time you should join us. Kellogg's Rice Krispie cereal. Let someone in on the fun.
The study of the human body has yielded yet another important discovery. The pain millions of people suffer is caused by the way they walk. Their feet are hitting the ground off balance, starting a chain reaction that can pull everything up through their lower back painfully out of alignment. Now there's new Dynastep inserts from Dr. Scholl's. Dynastep cradles and supports your foot so it hits the ground evenly, providing clinically proven pain relief. Discover truly effective pain relief. Discover new Dynastep.
Quality. It's sometimes hard to find, but at Mattress Warehouse, you can find the same name brand quality that you'd pay a lot for at the big furniture and department stores. Value. That's what Mattress Warehouse gives you because they're only in the business to sell brand name bedding at discount prices. Mattress Warehouse. Quality bedding. Value for your dollar. And they'll deliver your new mattress free and remove your old mattress free. Shop at Mattress Warehouse today and save.
Windows, doors, and more.
Hi, I'm Valerie with the Windows, Doors, and More Factory Store, where you can buy top quality replacement windows and doors factory direct. Right now, we're professionally installing the windows in this beautiful home for less than $300 a window. That's a great buy. And our windows and doors are made right here in Fort Wayne and feature a lifetime guarantee. So see us in the North Crest Shopping Center.
Windows, doors, and more. Direct from the factory store.
Another year has passed, and it's time for the Grable Country Fair, this Thursday through Saturday. The food, fun, and festivities in Grable have become a September tradition, so be sure to fill up on a year's worth. Enjoy live music on stage, from gospel to country to modern, and come early Saturday to catch the parade through the streets of Grable. Like an old friend, the Grable Country Fair doesn't come around that often, so don't miss it. The Grable Country Fair, this Thursday through Saturday in Grable, Indiana.
Were you reunited with a family member and it turned into a disaster? If so, please call 1-800-93-SALLY and tell us about it.
I want you to meet Linda. By the way, it was Linda's daughter, Dana, that was searching for her. Now, before we meet the daughter, we're going to hear Linda's unbelievable story. It took place 27 years ago when she was forced to give up her firstborn daughter. Mother and daughter have not seen each other ever.
I got to hold her when she was a day old and kiss her goodbye.
1 day old?
1 day old.
Okay, so they have seen each other when the child was 1 day old. They're going to meet for the first time in a few minutes. Take me back to the beginning. Now, this is a little difficult for anybody, I think, to have to admit, because sometimes when these things happen, we've done something that we might be a bit ashamed of. You were married at the time.
I was married to a Marine that had shipped out to Vietnam, and I had gone out to live on the West Coast with him. Okay. I was pregnant at the time with our son.
All right.
And after he shipped out, I had our son. And he didn't support us. There was problems right from the first, so I took a job in a soul food restaurant cleaning to make ends meet, and I met a black fellow that was also being shipped to Vietnam, and we were just friends. And then all of a sudden it evolved into like 2 weeks, and then he shipped out.
So your husband is overseas, you have a lover, the lover is shipped out, and you're still left in the cleaning the soul food restaurant with a new baby and no money.
No money at all.
And you made a discovery, you were pregnant. Couldn't be the husband, had to be the lover.
Had to be.
That baby was Dana, right?
Yes.
What reason would you have to have hold her for 1 day and give her up? What happened?
I knew eventually I would have to go back home, and home is Salamone, Indiana. And 30 years ago, it wasn't like it is now, nor was I like I am now. I'm a strong person now, and I knew she wouldn't. I was afraid she would be mistreated.
Because she was biracial?
Because she was biracial.
Did you tell your husband that you were pregnant?
I wasn't going to, and then when I was 5.5 months, he sent me a letter from Vietnam saying he wanted me to meet him in Hawaii for R&R, and that it was up. I had to tell him the truth.
Because if you're going to meet somebody for R&R, you're already out to R&R.
Yes, I was. Basically so.
What was the feeling in giving up the child?
The feeling was hell, because when I was growing up, I'm one of 6 children, And when I was 14, Mom had a baby sister, and when I was 18, she had a baby sister, and I took care of them. And all I ever really wanted was a baby daughter. But I could not do that to her. I just couldn't.
Did you ever have another daughter?
No. I named them all girls' names, and they were all boys.
How did you feel when you learned that Dana was trying to find you?
Oh, God.
How do you feel about seeing your daughter?
I've been more concerned about how she might feel seeing me.
Yeah.
I since have been diagnosed bipolar manic depressive, and now I understand why maybe I wasn't nearly as strong back then.
But you're strong now.
Oh, yeah. I'm real strong now.
Okay, we are going to meet you and Cabbage Patch.
This is Aurora.
Aurora. We're going to meet the daughter that you gave up 27 years ago. Dana, please come on out.
Oh, God, you're like a dream come Oh, my God.
Dana, let me first apologize for mispronouncing your name. My cousin's name is Dana, and it's spelled the same way. Please sit down.
I better before I fall down.
I think she's a bit old for this. It's a pacifier.
But she's yours.
Dana, welcome to the show, and you're the person who actually initiated this search for your biological mother. Before you tell us why, it's very important that we learn about your childhood.
Well, Sally, I've had a great childhood.
Great childhood.
I've been raised very well.
Can I meet your parents? Do you love your parents?
To death. I love my parents to death. They are my parents.
Can I meet them?
Sure.
They're somewhere here, right?
Yes. It's my father,
Hello.
Bill, and my mother, Doris.
Bill and Doris? I don't want She's a fine girl that you have.
Thank you very, very much.
Fine girl that you have. You know, I'm an adoptive parent too, so this means a great deal to me. And I think you have to be one to really understand. I think it's wonderful that you came here to support her. Thank you.
Absolutely.
I really appreciate it. Are you all right?
I'm the best I've been in 27 and a half years.
We'll be right back.
Were you reunited with a family member and it turned into a disaster? If so, please call 1-800-93-SALLY and tell us about it.
I'm Jim Palmer with a terrific offer from the Money Store. Apply right now for a home equity loan and you won't have to make a single payment for 3 months. That's right. Take a 3-month break from your bills and enjoy a little extra breathing room. If that sounds good to you and you own your own home, call the Money Store. But time is running out. Dial 1-800-LOAN-YES today and take the next 3 months off. The Money Store, where America goes for money.
All their lives, they knew something was missing. Until one day, purely by chance, they came face to face with their identical twin.
We couldn't believe it. It was like looking in a mirror.
What if you suddenly discovered that all along you had a twin who was separated at birth?
She asked me, "Are you adopted? You look just like my brother."
Now, hear how bizarre twists of fate brought these people together and changed their lives forever on the next Maury Povich Show.
Monday at 11 on 21 Alive.
So I get this mail from Progressive saying they have a smart new way to shop for auto insurance.
Progressive, can I help you?
They give you their rates plus the rates of several other companies. I wonder whose rates are going to be lowest.
It looks like you could save over $200 if you went with...
What? You're an insurance company?
Hey, we know how hard it is to shop for auto insurance. A lot of times we're the lowest. Sometimes we're not.
That's not what I expected from an insurance company. And then he said, well, maybe you should.
Call 1-800-AUTO-PRO or your authorized independent agent.
Women have come a long way in realizing gender equality on the playing fields of America.
The Fort Wayne Daisies broke down barriers for women in our area.
Run, Jane, Run continues this exciting tradition of women in sports September 10th through the 21st. This year's 14 events offer women the thrill of competition, fun, and fitness while building self-esteem, grace, and strength. So just don't stand on the sidelines and watch. Run, Jane, Run!
If you're redecorating this season, see us at K&N Carpet during our factory-authorized Mohawk Carpet Sale. You'll get huge savings on our entire line of Mohawk carpeting in every color, texture, and style in 12 and 15-foot wide rolls. We offer easy financing and the area's lowest prices on quality flooring, padding, and installation during our store-wide Mohawk Carpet Sale. Going on now at K&N Carpet, just a half mile south of I-469 on US 27 South.
K&N, the carpet place, the carpet place, K&N.
She calls me a whore all the time.
Yep, because I hate her. Don't even talk to her.
Have these teen terrors been tamed?
You still want to be the baddest boy I've ever met?
An update next, Sally.
That's a pretty wonderful thing. Today we're helping people search for missing loved ones, and I want you to meet Angelique. She has been desperate to find her brother Dale, whom she says was taken from their home when she was a little girl, and she has no idea why. Tell me about your childhood.
Well, it was a very difficult childhood. It was like a classic Cinderella story. Had an evil stepmother.
An evil a real one?
Really evil, very much so. My parents were divorced when I was very young, and my dad took my brother and I, and my mother kept her 4 older daughters from a previous marriage. And soon after that, he met my stepmother and married her, and she always came first, so the kids got left to the side. And when I was in 1st grade, I ended up living with my aunt and uncle, and my brother Dale was sent to live with my mom. And I kind of went back and forth between households.
Not good for a child?
No, not at all, not at all. And I'm not sure exactly why, but it was because of my stepmother. And, you know, Dale was sent to live with my mom, and the last time I saw him I was in 1st grade, and I went to visit my mom when I was 12, and I had very little contact with her, very little. But before I left, my stepmother told me that they had given my brother up for adoption when he was 9.
When he was 9?
9 years old.
You told our producers that your only good memories from childhood were the ones of your brother, who just disappeared at 9 years of age. Can you share some of the memories?
Yeah, we had a lot of fun. It was like a typical brother-sister relationship. You know, he tormented me, told me little things, like there were these dandelion things that would fly around in Tahoe. And he told me, if those catch you, they're going to suck your blood and eat your bones. And so for years, I was terrified of these
dandelions?
Things. Yeah, they're like little floaty white things. Terrified of them. But, you know, he'd ride me around on his handlebars on his bike and take me down to a local store, and we stole some toys. He taught me how to do little things like that.
He taught you how to steal?
Well, a little bit.
It's kind of sweet, I guess.
Yeah.
Angelique, why do you, it's been 25 years since you've seen your brother Dale. Why do you want to try and find him?
Well, I've always wanted to try to find him. I think it's very important. I mean, he was so important to me as a child.
It was the
And-
two of you against the world.
Yeah, I mean, we were on our own a lot. Just
Right.
the two of us playing, catching lizards, doing typical things. I just think.
Whenever you
foreclosure.
see somebody on the street, do you think, gosh, that may be my brother?
You know, I've done that, even at Toys R Us, you know, because for all I know, he lives around the block from me in Las Vegas. You know, and I've been at Toys R Us, I'm like, oh my gosh, that might be him. And then I never get the courage up to go and ask, because they might think I'm crazy.
But every time you see somebody who looks like you,
sure.
you
Blue
think
eyes.
that. I
Yes.
think 25 years is probably long enough. Come on out.
Surprise, surprise.
Well, I guess we surprised you. Let me look at you. I have to see if you look like her.
A little bit.
A little bit. How did you feel when you found out your sister was searching for you?
Oh my God, it floored me. It floored me. It did because, you know, I had really, about 6 months ago, really started searching hard. I'd gone to my adoptive parents and gotten my birth certificate, a copy of my adoption papers, and then all of a sudden, out of the blue, International Locators calls me and says, here's Angelique. You know, she's been looking for you, and
Does
really...
she look the way you thought she'd look?
No, actually.
Well, he's being honest. Tell me and Angelique about the family that adopted you. You went into a foster home first, and then you were adopted out.
Yes. The adoptive family that adopted me, they are great people.
How does the family that adopted you feel about you reuniting with Angelique?
You know what? I went to my father, my adoptive father, and I was a little apprehensive because, you know, out of all the people in the world, they chose me. You know, it's not...
That's right.
You know, so there's a special bond there, and I really, really didn't want to hurt them at all, you know, but they seemed very excited, actually, when I talked to them, because they felt that this would answer a lot of questions in my life, being reunited.
They sound
with
like
my
very good people.
They are.
Very good people.
Very
Are they
good
Mormons?
people. Yes, they are.
Okay. Angelique, we have another surprise for you. First, I want you to meet Dale's sister, Lynette. Lynette, can you come on out? Lynette, you wanted to speak to Angelique?
When Dell was 9, we invited him into our family, and we've spent a lot of years with him, loving him as a brother. And my family is ready to open our arms and accept you into our family as a sister.
We'll be right back. This friend of mine was abandoned in the hospital. He spent his whole life feeling isolated and alone. And today, his life is going to change forever when he meets the family that he never knew he had. Would you believe that he has 10 brothers and sisters? This is a reunion you don't want to miss.
For free tickets to be in the Sally Show audience, call 212-582-1722, extension 272 or 213.
The recent UPS strike put organized labor in the headlines and has raised a lot of questions about its future. I'm Victor Lockett. On Monday's Lifeline, we head to the annual Labor Day picnic for members of the AFL-CIO. Tom Lewandowski, president of the Central Labor Council, joins us to talk about the status of union membership in Northeast Indiana, what's on members' minds, and to take your questions. Mr. Food has tips on minimizing the labor in the kitchen, and Consumer Reports has suggestions on how to use less fat in baking. That's all Monday at noon right here on 21 Alive.
Casual Living Center, RNC Fence.
Summer is far from over, but if your patio furniture has seen better days, now's the time to see us at RNC Fence and Casual Living Center during our summer clearance sale. Save 40 to 60% on top quality patio sets, including Lloyd & Flanders, Tropitone, Winston, and Suncoast. Come in now while the weather's still hot and the prices are even hotter during our summer clearance sale at RNC Fence and Casual Living Center on Engle Road.
Your Casual Living Center. RNC Fence.
Windows, windows, windows. Save, save, save. If you need replacement windows but didn't want to mortgage your house to buy them, call Advanced Window Wholesalers at 456-4600. Only $297 each, completely installed. Our windows are solid vinyl, have thermal double pane glass, and even tilt-in sashes for easy in-home cleaning. Everything you need in a replacement window, including installation, for only $297. Don't wait. Call Advanced Window Wholesalers today at 456-4600 or toll free 1-800-600-6475. www.fwimall.com, Fort Wayne's Internet Mall. Surf by and let Lehman Electronics help you build a home theater and enter to win a CD player. Check out the lowest prices within 50 miles from A-Plus Computers. Launch a new career and enter to win free pizzas with Pizza Hut of Fort Wayne, and remodel your home without lifting a hammer with help from Color Vision. www.fwimall.com, Fort Wayne's Internet Mall. Brought to you by 21 Alive and Fort Wayne Internet.
There's something special about a meal with friends. Fort Wayne is home to some of the best restaurants in the tri-state area. Locally owned restaurants with a special feel for what you want in a meal. Prepare for a rich sensory experience. The look, the feel, the taste of an amazing meal. El Azteca, Bagatelle Bistro and Bar, The Bagel Station, Munchie Emporium. We're the heart and soul of Fort Wayne. Brought to you by the participating members of the Independent Restaurant Association, the IRA. We'll feed you right.
Some members of our audience will receive, and a promotional fee has been provided by...
How fast does maximum strength Anbesol start to relieve cold and canker sore pain? Before you can say,
Anbesol.
put it on. The pain is gone.
Psychic Encounters is a great deal.
That's right. It's just 99 cents a minute and get this Power Crystal free. The number to call is
1-800-PREDICT. 1-800-PREDICT. 1-800-PREDICT.
I know a man who recently touched my heart with his emotional story. This man's name is Bob Korn. Bob is 46 years old. And one day, my husband, Carl, was with me in the office, and he gets a call from Bob, which is not that unusual because we've known him for a while. And Bob says that in one day, he went from thinking he'd been an only child his whole life to finding out he had 10 brothers and sisters. Now that's a story. Take me back to the beginning. You told me that after you were born, nobody came to get you at the hospital?
Well, my mom, she was committed to a mental institution. She was the first lieutenant Army Nurse Corps, and she was like 48 or something like that when I was born, and the stress of that and everything, she just couldn't handle it, so she was committed. My dad was about 55, and what was he going to do with a child that old? But I did find out that I was there till I was like 6 months old.
Now, can you imagine that a child is left in a hospital, the mother they take away to a mental institution, the father doesn't want the child, and they leave you in a hospital for 6 months?
Roughly, yeah. And then my grandmother, which is my mom's stepmother in South Carolina, she was 5 years older than my dad, actually. She was bound and determined to come and get me. My grandfather didn't want her to come, and a lot of the other relatives didn't want her because she was, she was 60 and was too old to raise a child, but my grandmother was really strong and great, and she said to hell with it. She boarded a plane, and she went to Chicago, and she picked me up out of that hospital, and she brought me back to South Carolina.
So you're 6 months old, and Grandma comes to get you. What was Grandma's name?
Her name was, well, I called her Mama, but she was Aunt Mitty and Miss Mitty. And we lived in this old house. We didn't have any running water. We had a well.
No water?
No, we had a well. You go out and you roll it up. We had outdoor plumbing. Had a two-holer, and a coal truck used to come and drop off a ton of coal because we'd get that in the winter and put it in a coal stove.
Were there any nice neighbors who helped you out?
Well, I'm glad you asked that, Sally. if you get Hillary Clinton's book, Takes a Village to Raise a Kid, well, my village that raised me is on 000 Road, Ware Place, South Carolina. That's just south of Greenville. And there were Helen Whitney and Bob and Bill Whitney and their 3 kids. There were the Chandlers. They had a farm, Helen and Wilton and Wilda. He was the closest thing I had to a dad. Used to go down and plow and throw chicken manure out because they had a chicken farm, raised chicken, and you had to take it out because otherwise you couldn't walk in the chicken coops. So you throw it on the field.
Isn't this a guy?
You know.
All right.
And
Bad
my best friend was Steve Candler because he was my age and he rented a house his parents did from Helen Whitney and them.
Okay. Then one day he's at school and he sees somebody coming across the field, and it's like a social worker type, and he knows something. He knows that grandmother, which is step-grandmother, has died. He's 12 years old. Where did you go?
We were practicing for this high school thing. I was in the band, and she came across the field. As soon as I saw her, I knew. And I went home, and you know, they were bringing, and my mama, she was still laying on the bed. I'll never forget seeing her laying there. And she died on Friday. They took her to the mortuary, brought her back, because they do that down south. They put your casket there, and people come to the house, so you could walk in and look at her. And they buried her on Sunday, and I was in the orphanage on Monday.
His life went from bad to worse. All kinds of unpleasant things happened. An orphanage is not a great place. And yet, he has managed to turn his life around. He is a very successful antique dealer. He lives on a boat in Mystic, Connecticut. And then, one day, a Christmas card came that changed his entire life. Tell me about it.
A friend of mine in Middletown called up one of my address, sent me a Christmas card. So I gave it to him, and then he said, well, how do you spell your last name? So I spelled it. And he goes, that's a strange name. And I said, well, yeah, tell me about it. I've been looking 30 years trying to find anybody with my name, because I went to college in Texas and stuff. I got personalized plates and all that kind of stuff. And never found anybody. I used to spend weekends when other people were at the beach. I'd be on the phone calling around the country, called Europe, called everywhere. And I never could find anybody. So he said, oh, don't worry about it, Bob. I'll find your family for you. And I took it like always a goofball, you know. So, because I mean, I worked hard to find them, and I couldn't. So sure enough, Monday, right before New Year's, here comes that card. And inside is this yellow piece of paper, has 14 names on it. About 5 of those names were misspelled, and they weren't Corins. So I went to call. I have a half-brother from my mom's first marriage. We weren't very close, but I have a niece and nephew, and his name's Patrick. So I went to Patrick Corin on the list, and I dialed it. And I said, hi, this is Bob Corin. I'm looking for my family. My dad was Harry J. Corin, and I was born in Upper Sandusky, Ohio, and he married my mom in Bowling Green, Kentucky, and all this kind of stuff. It was a big scream on the phone.
He was real.
Yeah, and it's just I just couldn't believe it.
Now that's when you called Carl. Have you met any of these people? You're what? What did we say your age was?
I'm 46.
You're 46 years old and never had any relatives?
Nothing.
I think it's time that you meet these people.
Great.
Please come out, sisters Harriet, Rita, Peggy, brother Bobby, stepmother Lola.
Hi there. You are great.
Thank you. Do you, have you put, please sit down, all of you. Have you put any kind of a background to these people, Bob? Do you know who they are? I mean, I put name tags on them because I thought that maybe that would work. Harriet is the closest in age to Bob. She was born 4 years after your brother. And you brought some special people to the show for him to meet. Who did you bring?
My 2 daughters, Alicia, age 9, and Lindsay, age 7.5.
And where are they?
Uncle Bob left. Uncle Bob number 2.
Well, now, let me tell you how I feel. I met a man who didn't know anybody, have any family. There he is. Suddenly, this guy has got more relatives and more family than you can ever imagine. He was telling us that there were some neighbors, Chandlers and somebody else,
The Whitneys.
Whitneys, who lived next door when you were a little boy. Here to surprise you is your next door neighbor, Wilda Chandler. Come on out, Sit there, you can sit anywhere. Well, isn't it nice to hear that he remembered you and he thought of the family?
Yes. She used to let me drive her car when I was like, what, 9, 10?
What do you remember of him as a little boy?
Oh, I have lots of fond memories of Bobby as a little boy, but one stands out in my mind, Sally. And he followed this pattern so often. During summer vacations, I would hear him, I was still asleep in bed. I would hear him and Duke, his dog, coming down the road. He was talking to Duke. He had come into our kitchen where my mom was, and his first comment was, "Where's Wilda?" Right on through to my bedroom, he'd stick his head around the door. "Wake up, Sleeping Beauty."
I am so glad. Again, I hope you keep in contact. You have to tell him about the whole family and what's been happening. Wilda's parents couldn't be here today. She has been kind enough to bring you a message. I'd like you to, Bob, you look up at that, or over here, either way, and let's take a look.
Bobby, I wish I could be with you today, but according to health problems, I can't. And I wish you luck. I miss you running around with me on the tractor. You helped me round up the cows. I love you. And you sing with one of my boys, so.
Hi, Bobby. I'm sorry I can't be up there with you today. If I remember the first time I ever saw you, you was about a year old, and your aunt scolded you for something, and I took you up on my lap and petted you, and from that day on, you always seemed like my own little boy. I love you, Bobby, and hope to see you soon.
We'll be right back. This woman believes that her mother walked out on her over 20 years ago. And the mother says it didn't happen that way. Next, Mom is going to reveal the painful truth, and we're going to bring them back together for the first time. Stay tuned.
One night in Maya Angelou's house, and I'm in my pajamas. Life-changing. Have the courage to have courage. It's our book club pajama party at Maya Angelou's home. That is the heart of a woman. Plus, we're talking children's books with Big Bird and Elmo. Chicka, chicka, bamba! And today we're announcing a big, B-I-G book. What'll it be? Next Oprah.
Monday at 4 on 21 Alive.
There's no one way a woman will react if she thinks she has cancer. So there's no one way to respond. The Women's Cancer Center at Lutheran Hospital is an important new approach to cancer care, designed specifically to meet the needs of each individual woman. It's a unique resource center where she'll find explanations and information about all of her concerns, diagnosis, treatment, and recovery issues. The physicians at Lutheran Medical Park offer a complete spectrum of treatment options, and the Women's Cancer Center coordinates every aspect of that care for a woman and her family. Whether she needs a question answered, a translation of technical information, or something as simple as a hand. Our concern is the disease, but our focus is on the woman. The Women's Cancer Center, the only resource of its kind in the region. an essential part of cancer care. At Lutheran Hospital, close to you.
21 Alive and Kelch Pharmacies are pleased to present these community calendar events. St. Mark's in Decatur will host their annual Rally Day on Sunday. A Western barbecue, line dancing, and a country gospel concert will complete this day of worship. Call 724-7183. Faith United Church of Christ is also having a day of celebration to dedicate their new facility, followed by an open house. Call 637-6025. And Fort Wayne Youth Theater announces its registration for fall classes on Saturday the 6th. For more information, call 422-6900.
Were you reunited with a family member and it turned into a disaster? If so, please call 1-800-93-SALLY and tell us about it.
We've been having actually a wonderful time trying to reunite family members, some of whom haven't seen each other, and some of whom haven't seen each other in like 44 years. This is Lisa. Lisa is not 44 years old, are you, Lisa? Lisa would like to find her mother, Diana, who she believes left her over 20 years ago. Left you?
Yes.
What were you told about why your mother left you?
That she cheated on my dad.
She cheated on your dad? And then what happened?
My dad said that she was unfit, so he took me away from her.
Okay. How was your childhood?
I didn't have a childhood.
What was Dad like?
He was never there for me. I was tossed in between him and my grandmother.
Okay.
And then when she passed away, I was put in a foster home.
Did grandmother help your father raise you?
No, she would just raise me, and then when my dad would get a girlfriend and he would think that she was fit to be my mom, then he would want me to come to stay with him.
So it's grandmother's house and back in a new girlfriend, and grandmother's house and back in a new girlfriend. How old were you when grandmother died?
I was 14.
Was she a good woman?
Yes.
And then you were put into foster care at 14.
No, I was 15 when I was put in a foster home.
How long did you live in foster care?
For 2 years.
And then what happened?
Then I was on my own at 17.
Why did you not check to see what had happened to your mother?
Because I was scared.
Scared of what?
She wouldn't want me.
Why?
Because of what my dad said.
What did your dad say?
Just that she was unfit, you know, like she didn't want to be my mom. That's why, you know, she had cheated.
She cheated because she didn't want to be your mom. That's what he told you.
Yes.
Wow. 21 years, a long time not to have a mother. And I don't think you should wait another moment. Would you like to meet your mother? I can make that happen.
I would like it very much.
I'll do my best. Diana, come on out. Diana, can I talk to you? Lisa, sit down. Diana, sit down. Let me get something straight, Diana. Lisa has told me that she was told that you left her. You left her because you didn't want her, and you cheated on her father.
None of that's true. None of that's true.
What's the truth?
He was an evil man. And I tried so hard to find you. So hard. I love you so much. I love you too. And I am your mother. I always have and I always will be. I've always loved you.
Lisa, when you dream about having a mother, what do you dream about?
You know, us going to
shopping, you know, spending time together. You know, that's what I always wanted, especially when I was in high school.
To have a mom to go shopping with? I make miracles happen, don't I? We have this great surprise. It starts right outside the studio door. You're going to go shopping in a limousine, and you're going to go on a shopping spree in New York City, and Liz Claiborne, the designer, is going to pay the bill. So you get up right now, go have a great time together. Go ahead. We'll be right back. Are you looking for a loved one who is lost? And what happens when some of these loved ones reunite? Stay tuned.
You're not taking any chances. You're taking a calcium supplement. But which one? Citracal or Oscal? You'd need 2 big Citracals to surpass the absorbable calcium in 1 Oscal. And Oscal's proven effective in more clinical studies. Don't take chances. Take Oscal.
All right, Paul, there's a crisis developing. Someone's taken over Starter's department store.
I don't want to cause any trouble. I just want a pair of jeans that fit. Women are built with hips. I'm normal.
I got him!
You'll do anything for a great fitting pair of jeans. So will we. Writers, made to fit.
Is your toothbrush working hard enough? Only Aquafresh Flex has this flexible neck to absorb pressure and help protect gums. Its new pivoting head helps clean hard-to-reach plaque. No brush cleans better. New Aquafresh Flex. Hard on plaque, soft on gums.
Easy Car Credit did a real good job of fitting the car I needed with the budget I had at the time.
Being locally owned means if you have a problem, we're right here.
We live in the community. Our families have grown up in this community. We work here.
We test drove a couple different cars. We were really happy with the service he gave us.
You find buy here, pay here's popping up all around. People making promises to you they cannot deliver. They don't have your interests at heart. Easy Car Credit, we've always prided ourselves in that.
We're here today to serve your needs, and we'll be here in the future. We wouldn't call it easy if it weren't.
Stedman Graham is an author, an athlete, a community leader, a successful businessman, and the man in Oprah Winfrey's life. But that hasn't always been the case. Graham has charted his own course for success over insecurity and self-doubt. ARC of Fort Wayne is bringing Graham to the city, and you can join him for lunch. Learn his secrets for developing life skills. September 11th at 11 at the Grand Wayne Center. For ticket information, call 456-4534.
Some members of our audience will receive, and a promotional fee has been provided by
Inventors. Invention Submission Corporation can help you try to patent your idea and submit it to companies. Call 1-800-727-IDEA for free information.
I'm usually pretty calm, but I hate mildew stains. I want them completely eliminated. And X14 is better than regular strength Tilex. It feels better.
Psychic Encounters is a great deal.
That's right. It's just 99 cents a minute and get this power crystal free. The number to call is
1-800-PREDICT. 1-800-PREDICT. 1-800-PREDICT.
Say hello to Troy Dunn. Troy is the president. You saw us put International Locator. He is responsible for many of the reunions you saw here today. And so thank you for your hard work. I have some things I want to talk to you about. First of all, you said to me there's something really unusual about 2 of those reunions.
Well, you know what's really interesting to me is that, you showed a statistic earlier that we provided about 3 out of 4 adoptive parents are supporting their children, adult children, in searching. It didn't used to always be that way.
Oh, gosh, no. Adoptive
parents have always had this great fear that somebody was going to come show up sometime and take their children away and say, I want them back.
Right.
And we are completely against that, first of all. I know there's this big Baby Richard thing going on in the news, and we're completely against people taking their children back. But I have to tell you, I know a lot of people videotape your show. I know my wife does every day. So what I'd like to do for those who watch it, I'd like them to back it up again. I'd like them to watch that segment when Dana's adoptive parents watched her meet her birth mother. Because although it's exciting that birth mother is able to meet Dana,
think of how the parents
you watch
felt.
the courage in their face to stand there and watch their daughter meet the woman that gave birth to her. Those are the heroes.
Yes, that family that was sitting right over there, they're the heroes. Now, Bob Korn found out through a friend who has an internet that he had the 10 brothers and sisters. So, how helpful is the internet in finding people?
Well, Sally, in my personal opinion, which may be against others, it's not as helpful as I would have guessed it would be.
Why?
Well, because some of the information out there, we searched through there and tried to see what was out there. More times than not, it's business cards for private investigators who just want you to call and give them money.
So it's very, very important that people want to be contacted, that it's done with a psychological background.
You're exactly right. People always ask, will they accept me? Will they want to talk to me? And I tell everybody, the most important part of finding out whether or not someone will be accepted is how you make that first contact. That has everything to do with it. Whether you gently enter into their life or you come barging in. And obviously we're all for gently entering into their life.
I think you guys, as always, have done a wonderful job. Say hello to your mom, and we're going to put the name and address up in case any of you are looking for anyone. We'll be right back.
Seat belts and child restraints all contribute to making automobiles safer for our use. Unfortunately, the other driver still remains the biggest threat to safe highways. Drive defensively. If you're involved in an accident with a careless motorist, call us now for a free office visit. And remember, there is no attorney fee unless we make a recovery for you.
A message from Sweeney, Pfeiffer, and Morgan, attorneys for injured people.
Quality. It's sometimes hard to find, but at Mattress Warehouse you can find the same name brand quality that you'd pay a lot for at the big furniture and department stores. Value. That's what Mattress Warehouse gives you because they're only in the business to sell brand name bedding at discount prices. Mattress Warehouse. Quality bedding. Value for your dollar. And they'll deliver your new mattress free and remove your old mattress free. Shop at Mattress Warehouse today and save.
Gordon, right?
Yes. Have you ever worked with anything high-tech?
No.
Thank you for the resume.
But we're looking for someone with
more education.
Some experience.
Good luck to you.
What you don't know can hurt you. So let ITT Tech help. Call 1-800-942-0088 for an informative brochure. That's 1-800-942-0088.
Next.
Taking stuff apart, building things. I've always done that for fun. But who knew you could get paid to do this? Well, ITT Tech for one. That's where I got my degree. But they didn't stop there. They also helped me develop job-seeking skills. For a guy who takes life one piece at a time, things are really starting to come together.
Take control. For more information, call 1-800-942-0088 today.
She calls me a whore all the time.
Yep, because I hate her. Don't even talk to her.
Have these teen terrors been tamed?
You still want to be the baddest boy I've ever met?
An update next, Sally.
It's important to know that television, even a show like ours, is not all real life. What that means is that these reunions are much, much more complicated than they appear. And so you got to put yourself in the hands of a professional and know what you're doing. Thank you for staying with us today, and I'll see you next time.
This is 21 Alive News on the hour.
Good morning, I'm Jane Hersha. Coming up today at noon, a Northeast Indiana drug suspect is suing police. We'll have that story. Plus, we'll have the latest on the tire fire still burning in downtown Fort Wayne. And on Live Line, ask questions about organized labor and labor unions. This and all the day's news today at noon.
On the next Regis and Kathy Lee, look who's live. It's showtime.
Have a seat.
Talk show host Ricky Lake moves to the guest seat. Then she's the new Baywatch babe and MTV's matchmaker.
Hi, everyone. I'm Carmen Electra.
Plus, she can rock it. New rock from Power Station. Get it live with Regis and Kathy Lee.
Tuesday at 9 on 21 Alive.
Good things happen to kids who buy their Eastland shoes at Shoe Carnival. You could win $25,000 cash.
So what'd you do this summer?
Shop at Shoe Carnival.
Cool.
Women have come a long way in realizing gender equality on the playing fields of America.
The Fort Wayne Daisies broke down barriers for women in our area.
Run, Jane, Run continues this exciting tradition of women in sports September 10th through the 21st. This year's 14 events offer women the thrill of competition, fun, and fitness while building self-esteem, grace, and strength. So just don't stand on the sidelines and watch. Run, Jane, run!
21 Alive News, always a part of your life.
Today on Maury. All their lives, they knew something was missing. Until one day, purely by chance, they came face to face with their identical twin.
We could believe it. It was like looking in a mirror.
What if you suddenly discovered that all along you had a twin who was separated at birth?
She asked me, "Are you adopted? You look just like my brother."
Now, hear how bizarre twists of fate brought these people together and changed their lives forever.
Thank you very much, everybody. Thank you. Now, imagine for a second what it would be like to be an adult in your 30s or even your 40s and suddenly discovering that you had a sister, but not just any sister, an identical twin sister. This is exactly what happened to Barbara Herbert. When did you first find out that you had an identical twin?
It would have been 79, but I only started looking for my twin in about 78.
And how old were you at the time? Oh, well, see, I was trying to trick you, Barbara.
40.
Okay, so you're 40,
yeah.
And then you find out you have a twin. How did you find out?
Well, first of all, I was starting looking for my natural mother because in 75, the law came into operation that you could trace your natural parents.
Okay.
So I started to trace my mother, found out that she came from Finland. She was adopted, and her parents didn't approve of her boyfriend. So they decided to send her to England to be an au pair, learn English. But they didn't know when she left Finland, she was 2 months pregnant. So she came to England 2 months pregnant, and of course 7 months later, we were born.
So you found out then when you were looking for your mother that there was a sister?
Well, not initially, no. I found out that she had committed suicide in Germany, and she was only 24. And she was taken back and buried in Helsinki. So when that news came back, I thought, well, the story had ended there. But then I remembered something a stepsister had said. She was a lot older than I was and didn't live at home. And she said there was another one. So I wasn't quite sure. So I wrote to the hospital where I was born and followed it up with social services and all the records and so on and so forth.
Now you're on the great search for your sister.
Then it started. But unfortunately, being a Finnish name, I couldn't find out what name she'd been adopted and changed to. So I eventually had to go to a high court and make an appeal against the Registrar General to get the information I wanted.
And it ends up in newspapers, right?
It does, yes. Before I went to court, I was very lucky. I knew somebody, and I was front page of a national newspaper, the Daily Mirror. And there was this big front page, and I thought, this is going to be the answer, because as soon as it goes out, within days, I'm going to get letters, and people are going to be phoning, you know, I could be your sister. But unfortunately, I didn't hear anything. My sister had seen the paper, and she'd phoned Manchester, because she was in the north, and they said, phone London, so she phoned London, and so she wrote, but we never got the letter.
Oh, so she
nothing
saw
happened.
the paper,
She
tried
saw
to get it.
Because we don't know any better.
That's right.